this really is the story of black capitalists, and we need to understand that when we say black capitalists, black people can't really be capitalists. Anytime your money, you have to ask permission from white money to do anything. That means you're not a capitalist. You just a nigga with a lot of money. Okay, so um, but this clip here with, and I think this is how you spell his name, Stephen A. Smith and um, Sean Hannity. I think that's it. If it's spelled wrong, my apologies. You know I don't spell good. So Stephen A. Smith and Sean Hannity. Now um, this here illustrates the problem that the black community have with petty uh, blacks in the petty bourgeoisie class, the black petty bourgeoisie. That's a better way of saying it. This is the problem. They really believe that they are the capitalists that white people are, that they're equal, and they're not going to give that up. This is one of the problems with. This is one of the problems with. I'm not gonna say it that way. Let's just listen to the video and then we'll comment.
There are way too many people in this country that want socialism.
Right.
But socialism, I wrote a chapter in my last book, Live Free or Die.
That's right.
Socialism, whatever form, manifestation, name, every time it's promised, promises are never fulfilled. It always ends in more poverty and a loss of freedom.
Let me tell you what I said. Let me tell somebody what I said in defense of you one time. I said, listen, I said, I'm a proud capitalist. I ain't apologizing for that to anybody.
We know that.
Right, that's right.
I read your contract.
I'm not, oh, there you go. I'm not apologizing for that to anybody.
Yeah.
But when you say socialism, I think there's another category. There are some people who don't oppose capitalism. They just believe that they don't have a fair and equitable shot at taking advantage of a capitalist.
And you would agree with me that any American that puts their head down, works hard, plays by the rules, provides goods and services that people want, need, and desire can succeed in this country.
I think they can, but that doesn't take away from the fact
I
that
love
there are
you
a lot of
both,
people that deny them.
And I love you as a friend. You're a good man.
All right.
Stephen A. Smith.
Y'all like that? That's what people like on this network, Savvy, JB, Rome, and Nick. This is who we're up against in our own community. This sellout nonsense like this, and I'll bring back up the video. But this sort of sellout ideology of people who call themselves black capitalists, but they're really just aspiring capitalists. They're the black petty bourgeoisie that has been allowed to make the most money in this system. So the system has benefited them. So fuck everybody else is essentially the understanding. But let's also zero in on what Sean Hannity is saying.
There are way too many people in this
listen.
country that want socialism.
Right.
But socialism, I wrote.
There's way too many people in this country who want socialism. They see the conversations on social media, they see the tweets on Twitter, they see the post on Instagram, they see the TikTok videos, they see the YouTube video contents about socialism and socialists. They see all of this stuff growing because capitalism is not delivering for the basic needs of the vast majority. And they don't understand why that is. This is why I always say, even if I was a capitalist, I don't get how they don't understand for the longevity of their own sake, their own prosperity, for the longevity of that, they have to invest in people. So people are feeling, even if it's imaginary, people are feeling like they're reaping benefits from the system. So they don't want to tear it down. And you can keep making profits, but their sort of economically libertarian views don't allow them for even to help that, even to sustain themselves. And that, to me, is just the fatal flaw that people like Karl Marx point out of capitalists. Like, to the death, they have this ideology, and that is the reason why we're seeing all of this collapsing right now. So too much socialism or too many people want socialism. And then let's continue after he says it again, and then we'll dive into what Stephen A. says.
There are way too many people in this country that want socialism.
Right.
But socialism, I wrote a chapter in my last book, Live Free or Die.
That's right.
Socialism, whatever form, manifestation, name, every time it's promised, promises are never fulfilled. It always ends in more poverty.
Right.
And
promises are never fulfilled, and it always ends in more poverty. Does that not describe the United States? And what capitalists like Sean Hannity, like Stephen A. Smith, always leave out in the telling of socialism has been tried is all of the things that you're saying, all the failings of quote unquote socialism or socialist like or anything you want to look categories towards that. They've never been allowed to blossom without the interference of the United States government, like U.S.-backed coups, ever in existence. So that's the part they forget to tell you about. Why don't you allow it to flourish alone? I mean, you can see even what's happening now with the attempted coup of Lula down in Brazil. You can see what's happening with what's going on in Peru. President Castillo down in Peru. So anytime these sort of leaders, these socialist leaders, these left-leaning leaders are even elected, you immediately get them removed as capitalists. So, all right, it had me start over. All right, so let's listen to what Stephen A. says, and then we can close out this, and we'll move to YouTube, I think, for the last segment. Is what we have that. Last segment. Let's listen.
Last book, Live Free or Die.
That's right.
Socialism, whatever form, manifestation, name, every time it's promised, promises are never fulfilled. It always ends in more poverty and a loss of freedom.
Let me tell you what I said. Let me tell somebody what I said in defense of you one time. I said, listen, I said, I'm a proud capitalist. I ain't apologizing for that to anybody.
We know that.
Right, that's right.
I read your contract.
I'm not, there you go. I'm not apologizing for that to anybody.
Yeah.
But when you say socialism, I think there's another category. There are some people who don't oppose capitalism. They just believe that they don't have a fair and equitable shot at taking advantage of a capitalist.
And you would agree with me that any American that puts their head down, works hard.
So this is the black so-called capitalist class, the black bourgeoisie's version of, I am working to help black people. You're working to help black people be black capitalists. You like they want more black people to be in the employer class, the exploitation class, or the class that's inflicting exploitation. That's their version of progress, is to bring more blacks into the class and to exploit other workers. That's their understanding of advancement. That's their Martin Luther King, I have a dream. Truly disgusting. When I saw this video, I was like, I have to cover it. So let's let him finish it out here.
Plays by the rules, provides goods and services.
And then Sean Hannity, because this is where they're disagreeing. Sean Hannity was like, no. Don't try to act like no problem. People getting held back. If you put your head down and you do something and you do that, you'll be able to succeed, which is a fucking joke. There's plenty of people in the hood who does that, working 50, 60 hours. So if hard work paid off, then why are the people who are working 50, 60 hours or working 50, 60 hours for 20 years? It's just a complete joke. But the selling of this is being less and less effective. And he hinted to that when he says more and more people are becoming socialists, are thinking that socialism is a good thing.